Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of my Minecraft solo series. My name is Coded Lima, and if you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, there will be a link in the description with the playlist. But today I'm going to start working on the actual base, my home. And the first thing I need to do is clear out all these trees. And so that is what I'm gonna do. So, as you can see, most of the trees are gone. I also did a bit more digging. As you can see, these wall blocks are the layout for where the build is going to go, and you might be able to tell from the general shape that it's going to be a castle type build. This is just one section of it though. It's going to be over here too. It's going to be massive by the end of it. I've started on a little storage system down here too. As you can see, I've got some organisation going in. I've got bigger chests for the stuff I'm going to have more of, stone and cobblestone mostly, and then a few bits over there too. And this is going to be my main storage area for building blocks. I'm going to have a separate storage for things I don't use as much, but these are the sort of main ones that you collect throughout your time playing. So whilst I was digging the big hole, a thunderstorm started, and I noticed a skeleton horse up on the hill. And it's called a trap horse because when you get close to it, boom, you get the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And normally they can be quite difficult to beat. Luckily for me, a couple of them turned on each other, so I sat back a little bit. I was hoping I could get the skeleton's horse head from the fight, which I did. And once I'd finished off the skeletons, I set about trying to find a creeper. If you have a trident with the channeling enchantment, during a thunderstorm, throwing it at a creeper turns it into a charged creeper, and then if that blows up next to a skeleton, a zombie, or other creepers, they drop their heads. So I thought I'd try my luck at getting a skeleton or zombie head. It did not go to plan. The skeleton and zombie survived the blast, and I did not. I've also got some dogs that I picked up during the course of the tree shopping and things. I had to build a little bee farm as well for the copper. I needed copper for this build, and as you can see from this clip, I got the wax on and wax off achievements, so that's 2 more off the list of achievements I need to get. But for now, this is all the redstone things that I need, and I am going to make a start on putting all the redstone in for the sorting system. Okay, well, that took a lot longer than I was planning on it taking, but we got there in the end. And I just want to show you what's going to happen, basically. So this is the input chest. I put stuff in here, it goes up, and it goes all the way around, and then up here, down here, across here, and then around the middle ones. And anything that doesn't have a place in this sorting system will go down into here, and then I will take it out and put it where it needs to go. I haven't done all the filters yet. That's gonna take a while. Essentially, what happens is you put whatever block you want to be filtered here, and then anything that passes over it will fill it up, basically. But that's something that I'm gonna have to do. That's gonna take a little while. So I had to go and get some ice for the filter system, and I got a polar bear head while I was there. Just don't ask how I got the polar bear head. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, I also have done some work here on the interior of this room. As you can see, I've put in the walls and things and the floor. Although I think I'm going to change the floor. I don't actually want to keep it wood. But I quite like this design that I've done. And I like the copper with the deep slate. It's always a good combination. Using glow ink on the sign gives you the glow and behold advancement, so I got that one as well. Getting the polar bear head made me think that maybe I should go and try and get some more heads. So I decided to find some villages and get some villager heads for my collection. Sometimes I lay awake in bed at night and I think, is it worth all the pain and suffering that I caused just to get these mob heads? I decided that since I'm making progress on the main build, I should start making some farms too, and that is why I have constructed a wool farm. Honestly, the hardest part of this was getting the sheep over here in the first place. I had to take them through the nether. I will show you some of that right now. So I started off with quite a lot of sheep. Controlling that many sheep is not easy. I definitely also didn't go the wrong way at the start. But once I got my bearings, I tried to bring as many sheep as I could down the hallway with me. If you hold wheat in your hand, they follow you, but there is a range on it, and sometimes they get confused and lose interest. It's very hard to maintain. As you can see, the crowd has definitely thinned out, and by the time I got to the portal, I only had 4 left. But I thought, you know what, that's fine, I'll just breed them up on the island. It's probably easier anyway, and so I decided that the best thing to do was just dispose of the ones wandering around in the nether. So this is the wool farm. Now, for anyone that hasn't seen wool farms before, they're really simple. This is a dispenser in here with shears in it, and behind this dirt block is an observer. When it changes to grass, the sheep will eat it, and then the observer detects that, fires the shears, and the sheep get sheared. I have made this farm several times before, and I thought 3 of each sheep colour would be the best. I also designed this myself. I've used terracotta because I feel like the concrete blocks are just too bright, but terracotta has that sort of subtle colour to it, so I definitely prefer that in this instance. These are the observers, and I just have these hopper minecarts running back and forth at the minute. Some of the designs put a hopper minecart under each and every one, but hopper minecarts count as entities and they can cause a lot of entity lag. So I decided it was best just to have them running, just have a couple running on each side. And this is the wool I've got so far, so it's doing pretty well. It's not that I massively need wool, but it is a useful thing to have. Wool is also used for making carpets, and carpets can come in very useful, especially in the nether when you're trying to mob-proof things. It's really easy to just throw carpet down. I've started on a little bit of a design here, and I'm going to have a main sort of storage area underneath, which this is as far as I've got so far. This small island's going to have sort of micro farms on it, the smaller ones. And then the big island over there, I'm going to put all the bigger farms on, like the tree farms and the things that require a lot of space, basically. I definitely need to start making more farms because I'm starting to build more, and it's just a lot easier to do builds when you have the farms. When you have a bunch of resources that you can farm easily, it makes life so much easier than having to go and gather them all manually. So I'm definitely going to start working on more farms in the next few videos. I think the next thing I'm going to do, and probably the last thing, is finish the bottom half of this build. And I know I've already done 2 time lapses in this video, but I hope you don't mind watching a third. Well, that's a good start with the build, and I just had to add the top on that I forgot to do in the time lapse, and I checked for any mistakes, but it looks like it's all good. So that's the start of the building. Obviously there's a long way to go yet, but hopefully we will get there pretty soon. Castle builds in Minecraft are a little bit of a cliche. Back in the early days of Minecraft, all anyone built was castles. I know I'm conforming to that by building a castle, but I've never actually built a castle in Minecraft. I've only been playing the game for 3 years, and I've never built one. And there's such a diverse block palette these days. You can make pretty good looking castles, back in the early days, it was just cobblestone castles and they looked horrendous. But hopefully we're going to create something that looks pretty good. I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your love and support as always. And next episode we will be doing lots of farming, hopefully with a little bit of building thrown in there too. Hope you stay well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!